Good morning, Robyn. How are you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic. Thank you. How are you?
Fantastic as well. And people who live a fantastic life live it. In other words, they activate it. They know what it looks like. They know where they can get it anytime.
Yes, 100%.
I like what you're doing with strong fathers and strong daughters. This right here, first of all, you're acting with your husband. What is that like?
Yes. Oh my gosh, it was so much fun. We've had a few roles. Well, we've worked together throughout the years, but we've never played a couple. Like we've had a line here and there. But this was such a great experience for us. It was actually so much better than we had anticipated. Like, let's do more of this. This was fun.
Do you get to see a different side of the personality? Because once you step into the zone of creativity, that personality kind of goes through a different change.
It really does. Yeah. I mean, we're similar to these characters, obviously not exactly, but it was really special to be able to draw upon like our history together. I mean, we've been together for 22 years. We're like, well, we've been prepping for these roles our entire lives. But to be able to have that instant chemistry and history with one another, which you have to obviously when you're meeting someone for the first time and you're like, oh hi, nice to meet you. Now let's go, on set and on camera. And you have to like fake all of this. It was so great to actually have that with him.
This started out as a book first, and now it's a
Mhm.
movie on Pure Flix. How do you take it to that next level of from the theater of the mind to the screen right there in front of us?
Well, it's a bestseller. I'm so excited to be a part of it. I think Dr. Meg Meeker she's just absolutely brilliant, and it was really my husband got this role first, and then they were like, "Oh, would Robin be interested in doing playing the role of your wife?" And so I got the script, and I was like, "This is a really great story, a great opportunity to work with my husband. I love the message. I'm all in."
Coming from the South, everybody here is born to
Mhm.
perform in ways that that it could be business, it could be inside of a kitchen as a chef and stuff like that. What
Yeah.
what what is it about this area that really brings out the artist in each of us?
Oh, I'm sorry, say that
in
again?
the, in the way that it's first of all the artist. So in other words, what about your life, the region that
Mhm,
you came from, it basically
mhm.
became the because it's you're a piece of your region. What in your region was the inspiration, the influence that because look at your family grow and there, to me it all comes from the area that you grew up in.
Mhm. Oh, well, I don't know if you know this, but I'm a Southern girl. I actually grew up, well, I say I grew up, I didn't really, but in Georgia. And I bring so much of that history and even though it was a very small, I lived there from the time I was born till I think I was 7. And I feel like I lived there my entire life. And I bring so much of that into so many roles, especially when they're Southern roles. I'm like, oh, this is mine. I've got this. I know this person, and I value that so much. I'm so glad that I have that to draw upon.
Yeah, to me it's it's the area that we come from is that place where that we do draw
Yeah.
upon it. And when you have a faith-based movie such as this one, first of all, it's not going to
Mhm.
be a disappointment to anybody. This is for everybody to watch.
Right? Well, that's what I was thinking too. And I love that. I'm so glad that it's not so heavy handed that you possibly offend people or you're like, this is just for this geared for this audience. It's so mainstream. The message is universal. And I really love that about this film.
What did you learn from the experience of this story? Because you mentioned that you read the book and now you get to be a part of it
Hmm.
in pictures. So
Yeah.
you had to have taken something from this story.
Oh gosh, I absolutely did. I mean, this is like life imitating art for us, life art imitating life because our kids are very similar in age. We have a 19-year-old and we like I said we had his life all mapped out for him. I think the important thing to take from this is like and as we have with our own kids, it's the time that you put in. It's the investing the time really shapes who they are. And I'm so proud of my kids. I'm so proud of who they are. And people often say to us, "Oh, what's your secret?" And that's it. It's the time. Life is in a blink of an eye. You're going to turn around. Your kids are going to be like grown up, and you're going to be so devastated. It's happening so quickly. And I don't regret a moment the time that I've chosen to spend with my kid versus cleaning up the house or do you know what I mean? Like we get so sidetracked with these mundane things or things that we think are important, but really like we're shaping these souls.
So true.
And yeah.
Hey, Robyn, good morning.
Hello.
Hi. So, being born into a family of actors, did that add extra pressures to break into the movie industry?
Oh, no, and you know what? I actually never had a moment in my life where I chose it. It was always just a part of my life. From the time I was 3 years old, I started doing commercials, and then it just snowballed from there. And honestly, like I don't remember a time in my life that I wasn't doing this, and how grateful I feel for that because it's not often that you go from a child actor to like being in this position where like I look at this film and the teenage daughter who's like dyed her hair and she's angry. I played those roles. And now I'm the mother, that was me in Wildcats or the best of times. And now I'm the mother to that. It's like, well, this is so full circle. This is so cool.
See, that's one of the things that with my own daughter's bedroom, I have not changed her bedroom because I want her children to see what she did as a young teen and stuff like that.
Isn't that
And
great?
all of
I
those
love it.
marks on the wall are still there.
Yes. Oh, I love that so much. That's so special.
But that's what storytelling is all about. Are we going to start seeing
Yeah.
you as a director as well? Because you've got it.
Oh, that's been percolating. Honestly, like I've been thinking about this more and more. And honestly, the director of this movie, he keeps saying to me, Robyn, you're a director. You're a director. You need to do this. So um, I might actually try my hand at it. I think maybe I could do it.
Well, congratulations on Strong Fathers, Strong Daughters on PureFlix. This is a conversation starter. This is the kind of movie that people are going to say, "Hey, did you watch?" And
Oh,
it's going to be more than
yes.
just radio. We're going to be talking about it at grocery stores.
I hope so. I'm really proud of this film. I actually love it. I'm not just saying that. I saw it with my husband last week at an AMC theater. I enjoyed it so much. I'm like, I cannot wait for people to see this movie. I really can't.
You were in an AMC, so that means that the seating was absolutely comfortable and you could recline and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, it was incredible. But this is streaming, so you're going to be able to recline in your own home and
That's
watch
right.
it in the
That's right.
comfort of your own home. So there you go.
Please come back to the show anytime in the future, Robyn. The door is always going to be
I'd
open
love
for you.
to.
Excellent.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
You be brilliant today, okay?
I will.
Okay.
Arrow,
Yes, sir.
you know you had a double slot, right?
Well, then we're not done talking then. All right, Robyn, how you doing, man? Long time no talk to. How have you been?
Hey, we missed you so much. How are you?
I'm telling you, since the last time we talked, I mean, I was thinking
Yeah.
about what you were doing in the movie, Strong Father and Strong Daughters, and how people's lives have
Yeah.
been changed because of your role.
Oh gosh. You know what I was thinking? I was like, wow, I'm just over here being brilliant because that's what you told me to do. And now here we are.
You've directed 3 films already. I mean, it's just amazing.
It's incredible, right?
As an actress, do you find yourself role playing just to keep that muscle growing?
Not really. Not really. But, I'm finding myself enjoying taking on different roles. And I've had the opportunity to do ones that have been so outside of my comfort zone.
Hmm.
And I love it. They're terrifying, those ones. But honestly, they're so gratifying.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, Robyn, do you see your children breaking into the movie industry?
I would not be surprised if you saw my kids in the industry I don't know that they're going to be actors. They may, but I think they'll probably be on the more of the like producing, directing end of it. But we'll see. They've grown up. They've really literally grown up. This is kind of all they know. They think this is the norm. So they'll go to work with me. Since they were little kids, and I'll bring them on set, and I have to keep reminding them, you guys, this is mommy's job. This is an actual job. So we got to be like, but I feel like, yes, for sure. I can't imagine that they wouldn't. That's all they know.
Is it? Do you have to break up the house in the way that when your husband has a job and when you have a job, and it's like,
Hmm.
okay, we're going to drive in two separate cars. You're going to go to your set. I'm going to go to my set. Dealing with that because I mean, coming even in the radio world and with my wife doing her creative stuff, it's like,
Hmm.
okay, I'll see you in a little bit, and then when you're home, it's
Yeah.
like acting is completely out of the picture.
Yeah, I mean, my kids. So here's the thing: my husband and I never take jobs at the same time.
Hmm.
So he's always home, and if I'm on location, and vice versa. But I don't ever feel like it's a thing where I have to consciously turn it on or turn it off. Like when I'm at work, I'm doing my work, and when I'm done, the cameras are off. I'm me. I'm back. Um, but my kids, by the way, when they were younger, they would come on set like on Gordimer Gibbons, and they would do off-camera lines for me, and that was
Nice.
so special. And my boys have been in. They were just in a movie with my husband. Both of my boys were. So honestly, you never know. They might end up being actors. Who knows?
It's one of those things that when you see your kids in a movie, I mean, how being a mom, oh, you're so perfect, you're so perfect, but do you get to have that conversation saying you could have said it this way a little bit better?
No, not really, because as a mother, I think everything my kids do is like perfect,
Yeah.
right? But I will say, my son, my oldest son, Balin, I've had the opportunity to work with him. Well, like I said, he did some off camera for me, and he was so good and so natural. And I would give him a direction, be like, do it this way or do it that way, and he would take the direction so well. I was like, wow, you're actually really good.
So how important is it for you to be the influencer? Because it seems like a lot of marketing departments now are looking at what people are doing on social media, and you,
Hmm.
Robyn, you're definitely an influencer. Is that part of your daily plan?
Oh gosh, honestly, it's so hard because you oftentimes I'll post something and I'm like, "Oh, no one liked this or they love that." And it's stressful.
Yes.
I find it to be so stressful, and sometimes I have to just unplug. Like the last few weeks have been nonstop for me, and I haven't been on social media, and then I find that to be stressful because I'm like, "Oh, I've got to get back on there. I have to do this. I have to post. I have to." It's kind of a full-time job,
Yep. Yeah.
and it is stressful.
Yeah, and you can't just hand it to anybody because I mean, because your fans and followers are looking for Robyn.
Oh no, and that is me 100%. Like I would never do that. I would never hand it over to someone else. I just wouldn't.
When the script
That would
came,
be inauthentic.
when the script came to you for strong fathers and strong daughters,
Hmm.
you had to have been moved in the way that you knew that people on the other side of that screen were going to pick up on a storyline that
Hmm.
they needed in their present day. Because right now we need stories like this.
I think so too. I do, and that's why I was so excited to be a part of it. The role first came to my husband, and then they said, "Your wife, do you think she'd be interested in playing this role?" And the schedules lined up perfectly. I loved it. I was like so excited to have the opportunity to work with my husband, and I love the message. And honestly, like you never know what you're getting yourself into, to be honest. Like sometimes you could do projects and you're like, well, I hope this turns out well. And this one was one of those that turned out to be so much better than I had imagined. And the director was terrific. Working with my husband was wonderful, and the message and the comedy,
Yes.
all of it, I really like am so excited to share it with people.
You talked about the schedules. I live a Google Calendar life, and I mean, if
Yeah.
what and you've got to work so far in advance. I mean, as an actress, I mean, sometimes it's got
Yeah.
to be what, a year or 2 years in advance.
Honestly, for me, like people say, like, "Oh, what are you working on next?" I'm like, "I have no idea. I can't wait though. I can't wait to find out what it is." I find that for me, um, I don't have things lined up so far in advance. It's just not my career. So I just like take it as it comes.
So,
Yeah.
working with your husband on this new project,
Yeah.
did you guys happen to meet on a set?
Oh gosh, you know what? This is such a great story. My husband worked with my dad, who was an actor, and yes, this is actually this should be a movie. Our story should actually be a movie because he worked with my dad in his first film ever, Me Familia, and my dad. came home to my mom, unbeknownst to me, and he was like, "Well, I just met my future son-in-law," and so it was true. So it was true. So my husband actually worked with my dad first, which was really cool.
You know, one of the strangest things about modern day acting or even being in the social media and stuff like that is that we think that the story that we just saw on TV or read in a magazine.
Mm,
That's what I love about having conversations with like this is because Robyn, people get to see who you really are and that the
yeah,
importance of your children and stuff like that. How important
yeah.
is it for you to have conversations where hey, we're just talking?
Oh gosh, it's everything. My kids, like I say, like being a mother it's been the greatest role of my life. It's been the most important role of my life. And you know, as parents, like you're shaping our future. Like literally you're shaping our future. And to spend the time with your kids is everything. Like, take the time, be with them, engage with them, know what they're doing, know who their friends are. We're always like, bring the party to our house, right? Like, have the kids at your house, know what they're doing, be involved with them, listen to them. And I think that's what this story also resonates is like, slow down,
Are
know what your kids are doing.
are you journaling
Mhm.
or anything? Keeping it written in journals?
I'm journaling in the way of having my phone and videos. Like
Yeah.
we are constantly filming everything that we do. So much so that our kids are it's like, you're driving us crazy. Like, I can't help it.
Well, see, and I love that because I mean, here's the thing. I have nothing from my grandparents, and I want to make sure that that ends
uh,
right here. I mean, we have stories that we carried forward, but we all know what stories are.
yeah.
It's playing the telephone game. They all change.
That's so true. Do you journal? Because
I
I
I'm a
know
daily
I don't.
writer. Yep, I'm a daily. So
Oh,
I
I love that.
yeah, because it's I'm always in search of dear future reader. Somebody somewhere sometime will pick it up and go, oh my
Oh,
God,
you're
look what
so
they experienced.
Oh, that's so great. I feel so envious. I wish I had done that, but I haven't. All I can say is I've taken tons of videos.
But see, it's the same thing though. I mean that because I mean that's modern
Yeah.
day. So yeah, I
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah, for sure. But writing is so special. I've for so long people have been like, you need a journal, you should do it, you should journal. I just haven't. I try once in a while, but I'll write down cute things that my kids have done. So I have in my notes, like since the time they were little, I have written down special things like that.
See, because graduation day is right around the corner, so therefore that's the kind of stuff you bring up during the graduation.
Oh, it's so sad. Don't remind me. It's going too quickly. It's going so fast.
See,
Oh,
so the challenge is on that you talked about your family that it would make a great story or a great movie. So here you go. You're going to direct it. We need someone to write it. That would
yeah.
be you. Robyn
Okay.
Lively
Done.
wrote it, directed it, and starred in it.
Yes, I'm gonna do it. Actually, my husband and I have been talking about this a lot lately. Like, we should write our story, and because every time we tell it, people are like, "This is the greatest story ever. This should be a movie." I'm like, okay, I guess we'll do it.
I love it. Well, congratulations on Strong Fathers, Strong Daughters, streaming right
Thank
now on
you.
Pure Flix. Please come back to the show anytime in the future.
Oh, I will. Thank you so much for having me. It was so much
You
fun.
bet. Be brilliant today, okay?
I'm going to. Bye.